Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right. Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I am Jessica Young. And we are here to rant and rave in hushed tones.
Guess what, guys? It's another NPR episode.
It's another real late night recording.
It's legit 10 till 1 in the morning.
Yep. 12:49 Pacific time, 12:49 a.m.
Okay, but wait. The one saving grace is it's also that bullshit language.
Daylight savings.
Daylight savings.
Mm-hmm.
So we get an extra hour tomorrow.
Fall behind.
Uh-huh.
That's really... Oh, I don't know what just came out of my mouth. It sounded like a frog.
Something was crawling out of
Oh
your
my
throat.
God. Excuse me.
It's because we never talk quiet. Also, Jessica came to my house at 9:30 p.m. and we're just now recording.
Yep.
And why is that? Because I kidnapped Jessica and put her on my back porch, and then I dump my life
Green
to
room
her.
dump. I love it.
I do too. Jessica, I'm going to ask you how your week was in 1 second, but I'm
Yes.
also going to say how excited we are. We did our first interview this week together.
It was really, really nice.
Yes. So pretty soon we'll let you guys know. You'll see it on our social media.
Yeah.
You better be following our social media, guys. Castingnetworks.com reached out to us and wanted to do an article on us on a day in the life of a podcaster.
Yep.
And so Jessica and I went and met with the writer, the journalist.
Who was lovely.
She was absolutely lovely. And did an interview about podcasting.
Yes.
And we talked about our green room dumps on my porch. And then 3 days later, you were on my porch for 3 hours.
Green room dump again.
We like to keep it real. We're real people.
We are.
And I've got a child asleep 2 rooms away. So you're going to get a real hushed and lovely sounding voices from us.
What was that character? Monochromatic man or
From
something?
what?
Will Ferrell, where he just modulated everything.
Oh my God, how do I know?
What was it called?
I know what you're talking. No.
Monotone man.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But isn't monochromatic, isn't that something to do with color?
Yep. Monotone, I feel like.
Okay, Jessica, how was
I
your
wish
week?
I remembered. It was great. I loved going trick-or-treating with
It was
you and your
Halloween.
cutie cute little vampire.
Again, if you're not following our social media,
You missed
you
it.
missed some real cute pics.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica's husband presented me with a jaw harp of my own.
Uh-huh.
And
it just happened again.
It just happened. What's crawling
And
out
I'm
of
not
your
even,
body?
you see, I'm not pushing anything. I'm
No.
not burping. It
No.
sounds like some kind of lizard voice is trying to come from deep within. I'm really sorry.
Is it because we both ate peanut butter
Probably.
pumpkins before we started recording? Because I'm a maniac and went the day after Halloween and
No,
bought
that
way
was
too
very
much
smart.
half-price candy. And then I laid it on my table like I was presenting you a feast.
I love it.
I don't cook. That's the best I can do.
Oh
But
my
y'all, it's half off.
God. Uh-huh.
What are you going to do?
And you got all the good stuff, not that nasty fake Palmer candy that
Oh, no,
nobody
no,
wants
no,
to
no,
get
no.
on Easter.
I got Reese's and M&M's, Almond Joys.
You got the Mars Company's candy.
Yeah, man.
The good stuff.
And there were 2 complete aisles full of it.
That's where did you go, by the way?
Target.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I went there. I loaded up on way too much candy. I mean, literally, I have enough candy to last me 5 years. And then I took myself and my nanny, Kira, and my son to Marie Callender's, and we
Nice. Did you have a piece of Snickers pie?
No, Henry got pie. We decided to get loaded tater tots plus a meal.
Nice.
So we did not have dessert. We just loaded up on everything else. But it was delicious.
It was very fun going trick-or-treating.
We had so much fun. And my son went through the haunted house and Jessica didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
An 8-year-old has more, what is the word? Guts than me? Yeah, Yeah, I
I
happily...
didn't think he was going to go through.
I'm telling you, I'm becoming a grandma more and more every day. I'm like, I'll just stand here and hold everybody's
You
bags
held
and
all of our
drinks.
stuff. We were such jerks. We left you on the side of the
Nope, I
road.
was happy to do it. You could not get me into that haunted house.
So me and your husband, Alan,
Mm-hmm.
my son, and my friend, Kate, went through the haunted house while you waited for us outside. And then when we came out, you were losing your mind because you saw a little boy dressed as it that terrified you.
Because it was Skarsgård. I know it was. It was
That
the best.
child was like 3 feet tall. It was not Bill Skarsgård. I don't want to be a jerk, but I've worked with Bill Skarsgård and he's very tall.
We saw a lot of its, okay? And
There
they
were
all,
so
they
many
were
its.
fine.
Yeah.
But let's admit that
kid was out of this world.
either one of his two parents, who were both gorgeous, that
Yeah,
were
I
walking
know,
behind him,
right?
either one of the two of them are makeup artists, or I don't know, they paid someone
I
from
don't
a
know.
studio.
It was pretty incredible to the point that
And his hair.
people were stopping him to take pictures so much, and he
Yes.
was a child and he was so annoyed
He was
by it.
annoyed.
Yeah. Even you were like, the balloons are perfect. How did they get the balloons so perfect?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a bouquet of balloons, or they did something to
Don't
like
say bouquet.
bouquet.
That's what I said.
They like stiffened the strings
It was crazy.
so that he could just barely like hold it with his hand, and they stood straight
Straight
up,
up.
and they didn't go. I'm very intrigued by that
It was
family.
really fascinating.
Yes.
Oh, also, do you remember seeing the guy in the complete sequin Dodgers outfit?
No.
You didn't see him? Maybe you guys weren't there yet. So he was in a Dodgers baseball uniform, but it was completely made of sequins.
What?
And I guess that's from a movie. Our listeners are probably going to be like, you guys are dodos. Because Kira told me what it was from. Anyway, apparently he is a huge, like uber famous Australian comedian. And I did not know that. And walked past him and was like, dude, love your costume.
I don't know who that is, and I
"Thanks."
totally missed it.
Was that good Australian?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks. Oh my God. You just reminded me of the costume that I ran swiftly up the street in the opposite direction from
Jessica,
all of you.
you were out of control.
Because I told you I don't do harlequinos
Okay, but he
or
wasn't even
jesters.
scary.
Yes, he was.
What he was like some grand marquis. What was he?
Like a grandfather clock, but with the
But with a
face
clown face.
of Venetian carnival mask. No, thank you.
It was a really cool costume.
No, it wasn't.
Jessica, you literally ran like a child.
Yeah, I couldn't
And we were
handle it.
laughing.
And I said, nope.
Yes, and we were laughing, and he was like, "I'm sorry, I scared her." Like we were talking to him, and you were a crazy person. You wouldn't. We were going, Jessica. You wouldn't even look at us.
No, I felt bad because he felt bad himself.
He did feel bad. He really did.
Which is terrible. But
It was a beautiful costume.
no, it wasn't.
Jessica.
I mean, this brings up a good point. I was having a conversation. I was telling you about this. I was conversing back and forth with a listener last night through our Instagram because she saw the picture of the kid that we put up that was dressed as it. And she
Yes.
goes, no, what is this? And I said, how do you not know what this is? It's the new incarnation of Stephen King's It.
Yeah.
And she was horrified by it. And we were talking about how there was a guy dressed up. You knew the character, Jigsaw?
Yeah, from the Saw
From Saw.
movies.
Okay, I haven't seen any of those. I will not see any of those.
Yeah, they're pretty horrific.
And she said that somebody was dressed up like that puppet from it and just sitting still like a mannequin and
Yeah.
not moving. And then it really scared her 6-year-old
Yeah,
badly.
as it would. Yes.
So it did bring up a question between like, and I even said to her, I'm like, you bring up a good point. How far is going too far when it comes to trick or treating specifically?
Yeah, but
or
not
kids?
grown ass adult women like you, Jessica.
Oh my God.
So, what is too far for a child versus what is too far for Jessica are very similar. Anyway,
true.
we really did have a good time.
It was so fun.
And also, you mentioned that Alan mentioned something too, and I thought about this as well. We were all, as adults, having so much fun. And like, Kate is 23 and wanted to trick or treat, so she made you hold her hand.
Oh my God. Oh, yes. So I did comply. I walked up to one house to the door, and we walked up, and yes, she clearly looks like she could be my daughter at this point, right? But she also doesn't look like a kid, meaning a child as small as your son, right?
Right. I mean, for her Halloween party, she dressed as
as a teen.
Jessica Rabbit, and looked amazing.
Looked unbelievable.
Right.
Big hats off
But she was dressed as a bunny on trick or treat night.
Yeah. So I walked up with her to one of the houses, which I'm a total scaredy. I used to love pranking people as a kid, and even like through college. Now I'm always like, no, we can't do that, or no, that's not right.
Yeah.
I've turned into some weirdo in that way with a conscience. But I've thought, you know what? What's it going to kill me to do this to one house with her, right? So she's like, will you walk up and hold my hand so I can get some candy? I'm like, sure.
And by the way, just as a precursor, as this started, so me and my son went up, and then you guys come up behind us, and I was like, nope, I'm out of here. Like, I would not stay in support. So please continue.
So we walk up to this house, and they have a table outside, so they can meet
most
people.
Of the houses did, because there's so many trick-or-treaters there. They
Totally.
I mean, my nanny, she gets hired to pass out candy for the night. That's how many trick-or-treaters.
That was fun seeing her too.
I know, she's so cute.
So we walk up, and this man is sitting there with, I think, his own daughter at the table handing out. And he looks down the bridge of his nose at us and literally like lowers his spectacles to the end of his nose, and he goes, "What have we got here?"
He was Australian too, huh?
He was British.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to try that again?
What have we got here?
Was he Cockney? Was he chewing on a turkey leg?
And she's like, trick or treat. And he goes, no, seriously, what's going on? She then, I think, complained about his choice of candy. She wanted chocolate, and he only had candy. Then he noticed the pineapple she was carrying.
I bought her a Halloween gift. It was a glass pineapple jar with
liquor in it.
Well, it was tea. It was from Long Island, but it was tea.
And he goes, what have we got in the glass? What's in there? And she said, juice. And he goes, yeah, right.
He hated you guys.
Yeah. And then I said to her, and he held out the bowl, like, clearly take a piece and move on. And then I said, what do you say? And she said, thank you.
No.
Yes.
And you know what the funny thing is? Also, it didn't stop her.
No.
She went to several more houses.
No. And she let them know what she thought of their candy selection.
So right before you and Alan got there, because we got there just right before you guys did, and she went up to a couple of houses with us, and I was like, if you want to take Henry on your own, you can't, whatever. She's like, I don't care. I'm going. So we go up to the first house, we walk away, and she goes, seriously? Organic gummies? And I go, you have got to be kidding me. First of all, you live in Los Angeles. Get over it.
Yes.
Second of all, I've eaten those and they're amazing. So later in the night, because she's so crazy, she was that kid who was eating her candy before we were even done trick-or-treating. She's eating them and she goes, okay, you're right. They're really good. We really had a blast.
Unbelievable. I love it.
It was very, very fun. Also this week, can I tell you something I did?
Yes, I was going to ask you how your week was.
So this week I did Young Storytellers, which is an organization that mentors kids in school.
Yep.
They have a writer that works with them for like 2 months, and they write their own piece. And then there's a big show, and they bring actors in to perform their pieces for them in front of their grade. So I went and did the big show for the 5th grade at this school in downtown LA, and they get amazing people. Not me. That sounded so weird. Not me. But like, there were amazing people, and I'm sure some of them were on shows that I just don't watch because they were drop dead gorgeous. So I'm sure they all work so much. But I was there, and then Tony Hale, who is from Veep, and also Arrested Development. Also Angry Birds. He's the bird that always yells, "What?" Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Anyway, he's just one of the nicest dudes ever. So it was really great to run into him. But it's also like so cool that they get people like this to bring these children's things to life. And, you know, we always talk about wanting to do more and get involved more. And that was something I had done a long, long time ago. And then all of my contacts, I kind of moved on. So I just hadn't been asked. I'm telling you, Jessica, I almost feel guilty because I feel like I got so much out of it. Tony and I were blown away. There was one point we were sitting on stage and he and I were not in this particular scene. And I kept looking at one of the little kids whose piece was being performed. The light in their eyes and the awe. Also, the way that they write, they don't edit themselves. It's so creative. It's so amazing. And I looked at him and I was like, all the kids, the entire 5th grade was like hooting and hollering and standing and clapping for each of these writers. They were so supportive of them. And I looked at Tony, I was like, these kids are literally going to remember this the rest of their lives. So after the shows are over, the writers all come up to you with their scripts and ask you to sign them for them so that they can keep them.
How cute is
and
that?
I was like, grabbing each kid. I'm sure I terrified them. And I was like, please don't stop writing. Please don't. But the thing that blew me away, Jessica, you know, I'm hard on the youth sometimes, but then I'm reminded sometimes how amazing they are.
Sure.
Every single one of these kids had the most crazy, fun, ridiculous stories, and every one of them had some underlying message. They would ask them before we started to perform, why did you write this piece? Every single one of them was like, because I want to show people that violence isn't necessary, or because the ocean will take care of us if we take care of her. Or like every single one of them had some sort of worldwide effect that they wanted to have that was so inspiring and so uplifting. I almost cried on stage 5 times. Like,
wow.
So it was like powerful in that way. It was so cool to see them experience this because I know what that's like. When you write something and you see these people bring it to life.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable. And so I knew what they were feeling, but they're so young, you know? It was just it just was so powerful. I don't even know what else to say about it. It was so cool.
It sounds like a fantastic organization and experience.
It is.
In general.
If you're not familiar with it, please look them up online. I talked about it in our live show, and we're going to release that as a bonus episode at some point. But I just wanted to mention it again because now it's done and I did it. And I just had so much fun. Like I left there feeling the best I have felt in weeks.
Oh, I love that. And you bring up an excellent point that for our generation, for our parents' generation and all that, who is in the thick of the world of turmoil these days,
chaos, right?
This younger generation sees things with different eyes than I feel like every generation is different from the next,
a different experience,
But remember that we brought her up recently that she's been all over the news still. Greta Thunberg. She was just awarded an award, no pun intended, for like $52,000. And she declined the money because she said the climate doesn't need your money. It needs you to change.
Whoa.
This is a kid.
It's sad that we're like relying on our children to fix what we've messed up. But it's happening. They're aware.
They care and they are having a voice and they are standing up as young people in a different way than any generation I think has ever.
I'm so glad you said that because literally this is not a joke. One of the kids said, I wrote this story because I want all of us to know we're not just kids. We're a team. And we have a voice. I'm going to cry just thinking about it. No, literally, that's what this little 5th grader said.
That's amazing.
And his mentor said, I just want all of you to know I didn't tell him to say that. And I didn't inspire that. This is all him.
That's fantastic. It gives me hope.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Doesn't it? Because let's face it, our generation is pretty angry and lots of anger and frustration and feeling very beaten down. But these kids are like, nope.
These were 10 kids out of how many? And every single one of them have
that's amazing.
Bigger thoughts than I ever thought when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I was like, why can't I watch MASH?
No, that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, it was really, really incredible.
Yeah.
And just another solid reminder to me of like, no joke. practice what you preach, Dana.
Yes,
Getting out there and being involved in organizations like this and donating my time. It gives more to me, I think, than
absolutely
even them.
It's good all the way around.
It was amazing. It was so much fun.
I love that.
Anyway, would you like to tell people how to contact us so they can share more cool things like that with us?
Yes, and to tell you what you are missing out on, like an exclusive video of Dana being presented her first mouth harp by my husband on Halloween night. So you missed a holiday
It was like a full-blown proposal.
Yes.
My husband was like,
proposal.
I know. And I couldn't stop talking. Like he was like,
what did your husband think
on this
of it?
night, when all things, on Halloween, when all things weird and wonderful happen. And I kept going, yes, yes, yes. Like I couldn't. Dan Tipton was like, you are absolutely ridiculous. And I was like, if by ridiculous you mean awesome, yes. And he was like, you're adorable.
I think it's so funny, and I love, because I kept telling Alan, I'm like, I don't think you get it. She's going to be really excited that you give this to her. She's been waiting for this for a long time.
Which I screamed in the video as I was hugging his neck. I kissed it. I kissed the jaw harp.
That's amazing.
And I've been watching videos incessantly. In fact, when we got home from trick-or-treating that night, I was playing it, and eventually my son goes, Mom, can you stop that now? So just be expecting some videos. Just be expecting some videos on our social media of me playing the jaw harp.
Seriously.
He was like, it's like you're saying Q in the back of it. Oh, I got it. Get Q.
I even was listening to him trying to tell. I'm like, why don't you give her a lesson when it's not loud as hell?
Oh, I was into
we're not
it.
outside on Halloween night.
No, I was into it.
Know.
And honestly, if that got my attention over candy, that's pretty powerful.
Oh my God.
We had a blast.
Seriously, if you guys want to see that kind of stuff, you ain't gonna see it anywhere else.
Where can they see it?
You can't see it through the microphone. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rants and Raves Podcast. On Twitter at raves_the. Send us an email, the Rants and Raves Podcast at gmail.com, or through our contact button on our website, www.therantsandraves.com.
Ooh, you're so professional. I feel like I was listening to an ad on my Instagram.
And thank you for listening. Thanks for reviewing us. I always forget about that. And then every couple of weeks, I'll go back and check in on our different platforms. And on iTunes, we've had people just kind of consistently as the months go on, people who find our podcast, down the road. This is now going into episode 38.
I can't believe it.
Which I can't believe. But thank you if you're listening.
It really does make a difference.
Thank you for the reviews. It's really great and much appreciated.
It really is. With every review we get, that's just more exposure that we get because it bumps us up on lists and it helps people find us easier.
Yes.
And it helps us grow. So truly, 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 we appreciate it.
And because we don't know who is doing the reviews, that's why we're
anonymous.
Thanking you through our show. Because
people can put their real names, but usually people don't.
I don't know, but I think if it was a friend, they would let us know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's our listeners. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Not that our friends aren't listeners. We definitely have friends that are listeners. But some of you we've never met, and you guys are so supportive. Yeah. And we feel like we know you.
Totally.
Okay, should we go ahead and move into our rants? I think I'm up first for rants.
Good. Thank the Lord.
What happened?
You just
got so scared?
Yeah.
Well, my rant, it's a very specific thing, but I think we all need to be aware of it because I mentioned it to you in our 3-hour dump on the back porch, and you were like, what? So everybody knows we all get scam calls, and it drives us crazy.
Yes.
And no matter how many lists you put yourself on, it seems like we're still getting calls, whatever. So something that I noticed was I keep getting calls from things that look like real phone numbers of real people, and it'll be like, This is from Minnesota. Sometimes it's literally from Burbank. It's an 818 number, or this is from Wyoming. This is from Tennessee. And I'm like, what the heck? Who do I know?
Right.
Especially with our jobs, like a lot of people keep their original home phone numbers, cell phone numbers. So I do occasionally get calls from everywhere, and it's like an AD trying to tell me what I need to do, whatever. So anyway, I decided to Google because it just seemed like it was all of a sudden and it was really crazy. And a couple of times I answered and I didn't hear anything and it would hang up. And so I was like, what is going on here?
Weird.
What I found out is these places, and maybe you guys already know this, maybe some of you don't, I don't know. They have learned how to ghost our phone numbers. So if someone calls from a real number like that and you're like, I don't know who this is, they didn't leave a message, I'm going to call them back and see what this is about. A real person could answer and you can be like, hey, you just called me, what do you want? And they'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's because these places, and I know my former writing partner, he had showed me one time, there was this app or something you could use, and he was like, you better check your phone. I think the White House is calling. And I looked at my phone and it said the White House.
What?
So you can use
Ghost or clone?
I think they call it ghost, but maybe it's clone.
I don't know. This is all news to me. Please.
I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, what they do is they take your number. So it's very possible that my phone number is calling someone to tell them that they can get a deal on their student loans. And that's what makes me so mad is I keep getting these calls about like, did you know that insurance in California can cover blah, blah? And I'm like, shut up! Or the one that makes me even more furious is, we can help you with your student loans. Let me tell you something, people. I made some real big sacrifices in my life so that I don't have student loans, and I haven't since the year 2001.
Amen.
Don't call me telling me you can help me with my non-existent student loans. This is harassment. Harassment, I'm telling you, harassment.
My God. I used to get a lot of calls about a mortgage.
Yes.
I'm not a homeowner.
Right?
Never have been.
Right? So, what this article said, one way that you can stop them, and I've been doing this, and it seems like I'm getting less calls because I was getting like 6 a day at least. If you answer it and put it on mute, then when you don't talk, the system, whatever it is, will hang up and kind of remove you from the list because they know you're on to them. Okay? So they said what happens is the reason when you go hello and you don't hear anything and you have to go hello again and you kind of know, well, that's their way of testing if you're a real person or a voicemail. So if they don't hear anything, they will hang up and kind of take you off the list because they'll know that you're on to them. But if you answer and say hello, they'll keep calling you and they'll leave you voicemails and stuff like that. So anyway, I don't know if that's true or not, but everybody try it.
Let's try it right now. Answer your phone.
Okay. It's not ringing.
Just you're pretending that your phone is ringing.
Jessica, if you don't give me a ring, you actress.
Bring, bring.
We're not in Europe. We don't have double rings in America. We have a single ring system.
God, I wish we could go back to the days of my Nokia where I gave everybody their own song when they called me. So that like first incarnation of a cell phone.
I'm about to break your heart.
What?
You can do that now. It wasn't a Nokia specific thing.
Not the same.
What are you talking about? When Dan Tipton calls me, it goes, I love it when you call me Big Papa.
That's amazing.
My friend Travis, when I call him, it goes, crazy because he thinks I'm nuts. I'm not saying he's wrong, but that's what it plays. So I think I just changed your life. Anyway, continue.
Oh my God. No, I always get the one where it's like, hello. Hi, this is Mike Seaver. Because you pay your mortgage on time, and it makes me insane. A, his name is Mike Seaver, which is the name of the dad from Growing Pains. And B, I don't have a mortgage.
You know which one
But it's always him calling.
You know which one makes me angry like white hot lightning?
What?
This one. Okay, you say, I'm going to call you. Ring, ring, pretend you're British. Ring.
Hello.
Wait, okay, don't, because I won't be able to keep a straight face. Because I've got some acting to do, Jessica. Okay, ready? Okay. Ring.
Hello.
Hello? Oh, God. Oh, sorry about that. I dropped my headphone. Hello, how are you today? Recording. Don't you trick me into thinking you're a real person.
Did it literally say, oh, I dropped my headphones?
Yes, there's like several of them that do
That's
that.
so weird.
So it keeps you on the line because you think it's a real person. Oh, I'm so sorry. I dropped my headphones. Sorry about that. Hi, I'm calling from... And it's all a freaking recording.
What?
That's like honestly, that's devil stuff. Don't do that to me.
Well, I showed you on my phone, I've been getting all these numbers. And yes, do I know people that live abroad? I do. But number one,
Braggart.
I had... the few people I know that are out of the country, I have their numbers saved
in
under
your
their
phone.
name.
Of course.
Also, I know if it's from cities that I know people where they live, right?
Sure.
This is...
I can't pronounce it. Will you spell it?
Manatoria or something. I keep getting calls from this country, and I'm sorry, people, never heard of it. Mauritania.
Spell it.
Mauritania. The beginning area code is 222.
Yeah, it's an international number. Do they leave a voicemail?
Nope.
Yeah, that's weird stuff.
And they call me at different times of the day. It's really bizarre.
Is it a country or a city?
I don't know.
Yeah, we need to Google that.
Yeah.
Because it could be Satan calling, because all that stuff is evil.
Oh my God.
Anyway, that's my rant.
Yeah, there's a lot of scam calls. They're...
I hate it. So start muting people. Because the thing is, if you don't answer, if you don't pick up, then they'll just keep calling you.
Yes.
At least that's what the article said.
Just also a quick aside, if you ever get a call from someone that says they're from anything that is a real company, but you're not sure, I'm calling from the DWP or I'm calling from the IRS and
or
all this
your
crap.
bank.
Those companies don't call you.
No.
And they have a record of every single call that comes in or out from their system for a number of reasons.
It really...
And I've been duped a few times because like I was caught at an off time, and I'm no dummy, okay? Or I got really emotional and I got wrapped up in it because the person was so aggressive on the other end of the line.
And they often attack the elderly after they've lost a spouse. Yeah.
And one time it was with the DWP. It was a major scam happening in LA, and I called them. They are literally the nicest utility company to deal with. And the lady said, no, we never call. I mean, we send like 20 notices before we...
And you have to be careful too with emails, like emails that come from your quote unquote bank. Always call them directly, go through their website.
Yes.
Do not respond to or give them any information via email unless you know that you know that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt it's really them, because there's just too many scams out there.
Yep. And again, it's really no sweat to call a company or organization back and be like, hi, my name's so-and-so. Did somebody just call? And they're like, oh, you know what? That was Susan. Let us connect you.
Yes, I did that with my bank one time because I was out of town and they called and I said, I got to be honest, I'm a little nervous about discussing this with you. Is it okay if I just hang up and call the 800 number for... And she was like, absolutely. Are you kidding? Yeah, for sure. Be safe. Absolutely. Like, if they're real, they're going to tell you, yes, you do what makes you feel safe.
Of course.
Yeah, they're not going to keep
not
pushing.
Yell at you and say that you're going to be arrested. Well, I'm the one that fell for that. I'm serious.
Well, it's scary stuff. They really do.
It's ridiculous.
They have got their stuff down to a science for sure. Anyway, that's my rant.
All right.
Be careful out there, y'all. It's a jungle.
Well, I have a quick kind of silly rant.
Okay.
It's not of any serious level. This is regarding fanciful language.
Oh, wow. This seems very appropriate for you.
I do have a serious problem with being succinct, but even I don't need this flufferism to encapsulate whatever it is that we're about to embark upon. You see how boring that is when people do that? Well, this is what it sounds like. when I just want to read a recipe and then I have to scroll through a long diatribe of the soft winds that blew off the Mediterranean while in my cabana on vacation, providing the inspiration for this olive tapenade recipe.
Okay, but can I be real with you for a second?
Yeah.
100%, if you said those words to me, my eyes would cross and I would be like, that's Jessica. Your vocabulary is like, I like to think I have a fairly good vocabulary.
God.
Yours is so extensive. When we improvised together, what was it you did that night that made me laugh so hard? And it was just in a rehearsal. Two people were doing a scene and you came out to give them a location and you said words that I still don't understand that made it where they were in like some kind of yoga place. What did you say to them?
Oh, God.
If you guys do your super Kawana right, then I don't know what you said, but I didn't understand any of the words. It was like you were speaking a foreign language, but I knew what you meant, and we were all losing our mind, looking at each other, all of us girls going, what is she talking about? But we knew where you had said it. It was just none of us are as smart as you, basically.
That is not true. Do you know what? I'm not kidding. I think it's because I was an avid reader as a kid.
Mm-hmm. I was
read
too.
a lot more in my youth than I do as an adult. I don't seem to have the attention span for books in the way that I did. It's not that I don't read books, but as a kid, I would plow through. Like if I got grounded, I'd be like, ha ha, joke's on you to my parents.
I'm going to go to my room and read.
Because I would go to my room and read because I loved reading, and I had a stereo in my room, never a TV, a stereo, and I would just play my music and I loved it. I also absolutely loved Wordly Wise. Did you have that at your school?
No.
What?
What is that?
So we had it in Atlanta growing up, but they have it out here because I used to help a friend of the family's kid with it all the time, and I got ecstatic. I'm like, oh my God, can I help you with your Wordly Wise?
What does that mean?
And everybody would laugh. It's literally vocabulary. I don't know how else to explain it because it's separate from like English, like what you learn as that is English as a subject in school. Wordly Wise was the name of the workbooks. It was like a thick notebook.
Mm-hmm.
It was either 8 or 10 words a week.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you the definition. Then you have to use it in a sentence. You have to do a multiple choice to determine the definition. You know, there's all these different exercises to the point where I have the word offal burned into my mind.
What does that mean?
Like the entrails and the off-cuttings from a butcher that don't make it into like the cuts that you see at a grocery, but like that's what goes into hot dogs
and bologna is called offal.
OFFAL. Thank you, Wordly Wise.
OFFAL. You know what I call that?
What?
Buttholes. That's what it is. Honestly, it's eyelids and buttholes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I will never forget when a friend was doing a video for like her SNL submission and she did a Totino's commercial and she's like, Totino's pizza rolls made with I can't even speak right.
Well, it is 1:30 in the morning, but
Totino's pizza rolls made with real pig asshole.
Oh no. I mean, she's probably right.
It was hilarious.
OFFAL.
Offal. But seriously, it's like lips, parts of hooves. I mean, I could go on and on. Like,
are you the one that told me there's horse hooves in Jell-O?
No, but that doesn't surprise me.
Somebody just told me that last week.
You mean, well, like the hoof is like keratin.
Stop it.
Well, it is.
I know, you're right.
The same thing that makes like nails and hair.
Have you ever watched them change horseshoes and how much of that they peel away?
No,
and dig out?
They are called farriers, not to be confused with furriers.
Furriers like to dress up in furry costumes and have sex?
Nope.
Yep.
Those are people that preserve and maintain fur coats and the likes. No, a farrier is someone who shoes a horse.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And
there's also a special name for people who do it for cows because my friend Natalie's dad does it.
Wait.
Sherpier?
They don't put shoes on cows.
No, not shoes. He trims cow hooves.
Oh, he trims the hooves.
And she said he has a machine where the cows walk into the little machine and then these little walls kind of tighten.
Kind of like buffs it?
No, tighten on the sides of the cow and then it tips them up so that all of their feet are up so they don't get scared and yeah. I forget. I gotta look up that
Oh,
word
that's
again.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Is it,
think
or
about
is it
them.
just 1:30 in the morning and we're rattling on?
No, I feel dumb for saying that, but like, I mean, cows are domesticated animals, and I guess they do have to do that. I feel
Yeah,
stupid,
they have to
but
cut
like,
their fingernails.
I know, but what do they do to animals in the wild?
Well, they run them off.
Wild, what, like wild Mustangs?
Yeah, they run them off.
Have you ever seen a cow run?
Well, and just because you don't see a tree fall in the forest doesn't mean it didn't.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Anyway, I know what this is, though. When you're just trying to like get a recipe, the thing that I am the person that always falls for all of the 20 top best-selling things on Amazon under $5. And I'll look at every list and you have to go page by page.
Oh God,
It's
the
advertising.
worst.
It's a
Don't even.
slideshow. It's kind of the same thing, don't you think?
It's crazy. Also, you know, haven't we heard it all and seen it all at this point?
Like what?
A lot of cookbooks don't need a 3-page interlude to just show us the picture of the moussaka and we'll decide if we want to make it or not.
Jessica. What is moussaka? Is that a song from The Lion King?
No.
Because I can't.
It's a delicious Greek dish.
I
really think
That's
you
an
would like
opinion. What's in it?
It. Like ground beef and eggplant.
I was on board until you said eggplant.
You've never had it? I wish I could take you to the Petite Greek, which used to be one of the best restaurants in LA, and it's really not good. And I've told you before, places that I love, I'll give you a pass when something's off. I'll even give you 2 passes because I'm like, I love you real hard. I'm just gonna again chalk this up to a bad night in the kitchen, and then on the 3rd strike, you are out. Either you changed ownership.
That's
or
probably
cooks,
what it is, don't you think? Or a different chef.
It's definitely happened at several restaurants that I've loved over the years, including one that just recently closed. But I'm sorry, it was not the same when it changed ownership. Look, sometimes new ownership makes a place better.
Sometimes, yeah.
But with a restaurant, it's usually not the case. You want that old-timey family recipe.
You know where that
Or you
doesn't
want-
happen? Del Taco.
Ew.
Are you joking? How can you say ew to a place where you can get a burrito and french fries?
Because I haven't seen a Del Taco in years.
Well, I wish I
I
could
don't
take
even
you
know
to
where
the
they
Del.
are anymore.
Well, telling you, less than 2 miles from my house.
I was not crazy.
Eggplant and lamb. Are you joking?
It was lamb,
you
not
know
just
I don't.
ground beef.
I don't eat baby fear meat.
It's also spiced with cinnamon, just to put you over the edge a little bit.
I can't.
This is the recipe from Bon Appetit, and I will be sharing this with our listeners next
Is it too
week.
much?
No, moussaka. Oh, it's so good.
No, no,
I promise you'd like it.
no,
Yep.
no. I'll eat pig buttholes before I eat,
Oh my God.
before I eat moussaka. Give me a hot dog.
If you'd like to sit back in your own car while the breeze is blowing in the air and take a nice cleansing breath with Dana and myself.
So we're there. If you're by yourself, you can scream. If you're not by yourself and
We
you don't,
can't because there is a sleeping
there's
child.
a sleeping child in my house. Already I've coughed and hacked and laugh screamed enough. I can't believe he's still asleep.
I know, right?
And every time you stand up, my dog, barks at you.
yes.
I know. Even though she knows exactly who you are.
She's very scared.
Where is she?
Of my
Our producer
presence
is the
tonight.
worst. She left us.
Hey,
She's
she did.
sleeping
She
with the kid.
disappeared.
Well, anyway. All right, are we ready? We're going to take a deep breath in, guys. We're going to cleanse all these rants and scam calls. and rest floofy. What was the word you made up? Flooferism?
Fluffer, I don't know.
I can't remember. We're going to get it all out. Okay, let's take a deep breath in. And happy Halloween. It's over. Clown Jessica.
No.
Or I'm an adorably delightful clown clock thing.
No clown is delightful
You're
or
crazy.
cute.
All right, we're moving into corners.
Oh, God.
So I think I'm up for corners, right?
Go for it.
So I have a hometown hero corner. It's a feel good.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes. Or watch the movie Varsity Blues.
What?
That song is used in that movie.
Can I be honest? I've never watched it.
It's not that good, but Paul Walker was really hot, and that's why I watched it to begin
Paul
with.
Walker. Isn't my TV husband in it too? Vanderbeek?
Oh, yes, oh, God, how did
He
I
was
forget
on
that?
Dancing with the
Yes, of
Stars
course
right
he
now,
was.
guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
James Vanderbeek and our very good friend Kate Flannery are both on Dancing with the Stars right now.
What?
She's such a doll.
Okay, amazing.
I don't think either one of them have been cut yet. I could be wrong.
I haven't watched it. Oh, I thought I had missed her being on. Okay.
Nope, she's on this season.
Amazing.
Yeah, so sorry you guys, James Vanderbeek and Kate, that we haven't been watching Dancing with the Stars, and sorry, James Vanderbeek, that I haven't seen Varsity Blues.
There goes your hero.
Hometown Heroes. Instead of ticketing a young mom, cop buys new child car seats and helps her install them.
Already crying.
I know, right? So this is from goodnewsnetwork.org. Rather than issuing a ticket to a financially strapped Wisconsin mother, this compassionate police officer surprised her family with gifts instead. Officer Kevin Zimmerman of the Milwaukee Police Department, good on you, sir, pulled over Andrella Jackson for a registration issue with her car earlier this month. He was then cheerfully greeted by her and her two daughters, although he was dismayed to find that the little girls did not have car seats. Unfortunately, Jackson explained that she could not afford the seats since she has been struggling to buy a new winter clothing for her kids for the upcoming Milwaukee winter, which, come on, we all know that's harsh.
Okay.
Ooh, oosh. Zimmerman then visited a nearby Walmart and used his own money to buy coloring books, stickers, and 2 new car seats for $75. After paying for the purchase, he went to the Jackson's house to deliver the gifts. He even helped her install the seats and fill out the safety recall cards. Though Zimmerman did not think very much of his gesture, Jackson later posted photos of the 36-year-old officer and her kids to Facebook as a thank you for his kindness, and it was quickly shared thousands of times. Now I'm able to finish getting coats, Jackson told WTMJ. That saved me $70-something on buying coats and hats and gloves. He's awesome. I really love him. I really appreciate everything he did for me. And there's a little video, but there's also, we'll post this, a picture of him with her littles. Aww. And look how big they're all smiling.
I know.
It's just the sweetest. I can't handle it. I mean, he's an officer of the law, and he could have been a hard nose about it.
Yes.
Because that is very dangerous.
Yes.
But instead he took it as an opportunity to like spread kindness and love in his community, and I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yay. It's also important just to try to get people to learn safety practices with kids in the car. My stepmother is a preschool teacher, and people get really annoyed with her because she is very adamant, that's putting it mildly, when she is at the carpool line and sees kids in the car with their seatbelts off coming or going from the car, and she doesn't play around with it. And she's had a few parents like snap at her.
But see, that's the thing. People don't realize, what's that statistic? I'm not going to even try because I won't get it right. But the bulk of car accidents happen within like a 3-mile radius of your home.
I think it's 1 mile.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. And you think, oh, we're just going up the street or whatever. Yeah. Don't play with your own life or anyone else's in that situation. You can't.
It's pretty crazy. She actually will, I mean, again, when she's had some serious resistance from parents, where people will be like, why do you care? Or why are you so, I don't know what word they use exactly, but vehement or vigilant about it or whatever. She's like, I lost one child in a car accident and almost lost another. And then people are just like, well, my brother died in a car accident and my stepbrother almost died in a car accident.
Oh my God.
He was hit by an off-duty officer who was speeding and ejected from the car. So she doesn't pull out that card until she has to, when people ask what, you know. But it's true. And she's like, I'm sorry. And I guarantee, was like that before this happened, because she's just, in a good way, very, very diligent about child safety. Major.
When I first had Henry, we actually had our car seats put in, the very first one and our second one, by the fire department, I think. Or one time by the fire department, and then we hired, there are people online, in case you guys don't know this, you can go online and find people who are certified that will come to your home and install your car seats for you and show you how to properly do it. And it costs like $25, $30, like it's just a side business for people, but they're certified.
It's worth it.
And to me, I was like, yeah, okay, it's $30.
Yes.
I don't have a ton of money. My kid's life is worth more than that. And if something happened to my kid because I didn't put the car seat in right. because I haven't had a kid before, I'd never forgive myself.
So the car seat then is like, what is the deal with installing it?
Well, they're all kind of different, and like the way they are now, sometimes the belts go through the backs of them, or like the way that you put, especially the littles. Like now, you know, my son is in a booster, and that's just like a little booster seat that you put in, and the real seat belt goes across it. But when kids are little and they have these car seats, it's unbelievable how hard and terrifying it is to put a car seat in. And it was just worth it to me to have someone who was certified and had been through it to come and say, this is the appropriate way to do it.
Absolutely.
I will install it this first time. And then if you need to move it, now you will know how to do it too.
True. I guess unless you have to, but preferably people, I guess, if they have the option, do not move it from the car, right? It's just kind of like, that's where the car seat is.
It is where it is.
You can sit on the other side.
The only time I ever moved my car seat is when we moved up to a bigger size.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I never uninstalled it because I was just too nervous.
No, I get it. That makes sense.
Anyway, that story is so good. What a lovely gesture. Thank you, Mr. Police Officer. Yeah. He didn't have to do that. He really, really went out of his way, and it was wonderful.
And also, it's important for people to know there are very good cops out there, obviously, and I've worked with many of them over the years.
Yeah, you've worked with a lot.
There's amazing people out there, and a lot of them are just like teachers who buy supplies for their class.
Yep.
There's stories that we just maybe don't hear all the time about officers who have taken their own time or their own money, or firemen, firefighters. Things like that.
Because, like I always say, you know, I mean, the Osmonds said it first, but one bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl. I don't care what they say. I don't care what you've heard now. One bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl. You know it.
No, I don't. But maybe you would like to go see Marie Osmond with the Pacific Symphony this Christmas.
Oh, yes, please. I want to see her at her best because when she was on Dancing with the Stars. She's doing a special
show there.
Do you remember when she was on Dancing with the Stars? And when she collapsed like a sparkly caterpillar? And I was so nervous for her.
But didn't Donnie win the season he was on?
Oh, I don't remember. Did I ever tell you I had a Donnie Osmond Barbie doll?
No.
Because my mother was obsessed and I hated it. And I would pull his head off all the time.
Because your mom loved it?
Yeah, because I felt like this isn't for me. She wanted this doll.
Oh, that's hilarious.
At least I know that now, but when I was a kid, I don't think I realized that I was yanking his head off because I felt like he wasn't for me. And he had on a purple, like, deep V jumpsuit.
What? I can totally picture it.
I'm going to have to Google and see if I can find a picture so we can post it.
Yes.
I hated that Donny Osmond doll so much.
Oh, that's
but I did love the Osmonds because my mom did. Yeah, clearly, because I know that. Also, another one of my favorites, maybe not as well known, Crazy Horses.
I've never heard any of this.
Boy, you're going to be getting some YouTube videos.
And I remember watching them as a kid, but I don't remember any of these songs.
What? Paper Roses. No?
No. I mean, I liked them. I did, but I wasn't. I guess I didn't invest that much memory into them.
We had several VCR recorded family reunion specials.
Oh my God. Amazing. Did you have a library of VHS tapes?
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's my baby. No, sir. Don't me maybe. Yes, sir. That's my baby now. And she's a real good looker.
I can't. My dad taped every opening and closing ceremony of the Olympics for the last 40 years.
Well, I mean, they're pretty amazing.
Are you going back and watching the 1992 Summer Olympics? It's just...
I feel like in this day and age, I could just find it on YouTube, probably.
Yeah. But at the time, it was we're going to share and preserve this special moment.
Did you guys watch them over and over?
No. No. I think the only thing that anyone ever would rewatch from that time is Whitney Houston singing the national anthem.
Oh, wow.
But that was at the Super Bowl, I think, and not the Olympics.
I'm not sure.
All right.
But we digress.
Oh my
What's your
God.
corner this week, Jessica?
Well, I think you guys better just sit back.
This is a new corner, y'alls. Oh, I wish I had my kalimba in my hand. Bing bong, bing bong bong. Special announcement. New corner this week, guys. We're going to call this corner
I can't.
It's insane. It might be. Should we give a this is gross PSA?
Sure.
Okay, guys, this is gross. There's your PSA.
For real, though. Okay, this comes from a dear friend and a listener of the show.
Who thought we should know this, by the way, which is amazing.
Oh, my God. This is from our dear friend John Conroy, a very talented man who lives in Los Angeles.
He is very talented.
A jack of all trades. He said that he read this article and thought of both of us before he even finished it.
Which I'm not sure how to feel about that.
That's saying a lot.
On one hand, and then on the other hand, I'm like, nope, he's right. I get it. I absolutely would want to know this because it's insane.
Okay.
I love too that people are like, okay, guys, quit hyping. There's no amount of hype that will prepare you for this. No. Okay, here you go.
A woman wears her vaginal juices as perfume and claims men love it. Scent is a powerful and important thing. You've probably heard of the importance of pheromones in sexual chemistry.
Yes, and I believe in that, yes.
But you probably would never consider wearing your vaginal secretions as perfume.
Oh, you couldn't be more right.
Sexologist Shan Boodram, I'm going to make it rhyme, Shan Boodran. That's what you get for wearing your
Don't say juices, don't say it.
However, she does just that, and according to her, men love it.
Ooh, God, saliva's building up in my mouth.
So, she has 5 points, I guess, trying to back up this, or the person who wrote the article does, rather. The smell of her lady bits apparently makes men, quote, flock to her. In an excerpt from her new book, The Game of Desire, published on Refinery 29.
Which is like a well-known publishing.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye at first when I was reading this article. I'm like, oh. It's not like one of those obscure websites where you're like, oh. Yeah,
she didn't self-publish on Amazon.
Boodram revealed that she has worn her juices. I hate her for calling it that. As perfume, and it's worked like a charm when it comes to attracting the opposite sex. Number 2, she calls it love potion number vagine.
She is unacceptable.
How am I going to take that seriously?
You can't. And if you did, I would question your sanity.
I can't. I mean, that is pretty genius if you think about it. Boodram instructed several of her friends to, quote, get a new sample from the Bartholin's glands, which are the size of a pea but play a large role in vaginal lubrication. Okay, never heard of it. Don't even know what that is.
No, she made it up.
Once they get a good amount of wetness, they could rub it on their neck, collarbone, and wrists.
I can't handle this. I can't.
It won't make you smell bad. While Boodram doesn't guarantee that men or women loving women will be falling all over you when you wear your own juices as a perfume, she insists that as long as you're healthy down there, it won't have a negative effect on your love life. I've used this technique countless times in the past 10 years and have had mixed results. Sometimes people are flocking to me. Sometimes I don't notice a difference. So while I'm not sure how effective this experiment is, I'm certain that every single time I employ it, it makes me feel like an enchanted goddess with a delicious secret.
I cannot.
I can't either. Whether or not there's any specific scientific basis to Boodram's idea,
there's not.
She claims that rubbing your vaginal secretions all over you will make you automatically hotter because you think it makes you hotter.
No, I don't. I would never think that.
Thank you. Oh my God. Regardless of pheromones, and whether they truly make a person irresistible or not, the fact that you think it does will cause you to act in a bolder, more confident manner.
Okay.
I'm done.
You know what? I can go buy like Coach Poppy and find confidence.
Yeah, I'd rather have to pinch my pennies and replace my Diptyque that ran out.
Okay, Jessica. You're not going to believe this, but I have a tie-in to this story regarding myself personally.
Oh.
So we all know I've been pretty sick lately.
Okay. Oh, God. Where's this going?
So I noticed.
Oh.
I was like, something's up. I don't smell like me. Like, I don't think we ever notice our own smell, whatever that is. As this woman says, our Burasharan smells. I don't think we know. But if something's not right, you notice that something's not right, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to go to the doctor?
Mm-hmm.
Something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day, my friend came over. Oh, it was right before we went trick-or-treating.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taking some Mucinex, severe cold, fast-acting, time-release pills. And I took the pill and I put it up to my mouth to swallow, and I got a whiff. And it smelled like
Yeah. Medication,
Jessica.
No, but medication does come out through urinating. So you're not crazy for that.
Underwear smelled like Mucinex, and it's unpleasant. To the point I thought, do I need to go to the doctor?
Oh, my God.
That's a lot of information. But I'm telling y'all, get some Desitin. Stay away. No. Desilum. What's that cough syrup I have in my kitchen?
Mucinex.
No, Delesilum.
Dulcinex.
Dulcinellum.
Oh, my God. Get some Desitin to put on your chafed ass. What?
That's baby butt paste. No, I'm serious. What's it called? Dulcinellum.
I don't know.
I'm going to get it.
Dulcinex?
Stay right. No. Vamp.
Vamp?
Yeah.
What is Vamp?
Like stretch it out so I can
Oh, God. Hilarious. We are way past that point. I cannot believe you are getting your...
Dulcinellum. It's right there. You say it.
Delsim.
Yep, that's what I said. Dulcinellum.
What is this? This
Cough
looks
syrup.
like some kind of
Like a what?
motor oil.
Well, it makes you stop coughing and your underwear don't smell like it.
Oh, boy.
It's grape. My son and I did a cheers with our cough syrups tonight.
Oh.
It's a 12-hour Dulcinellum, and it doesn't make my underwear smell.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
Do
God.
I need to cut that out of
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Do I need to cut that?
Probably. Okay. Get me out of this corner now.
That is so completely... Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to discuss whether or not I need to edit that out, but it really is
Oh,
true.
my God. Oh, my God.
I think, am I up first?
Sure.
So what I brought for a rave today, I will say I haven't done a whole lot of investigation into this, but I did do a cursory check and I looked through it and I just think it's amazing. I saw this on Reddit. It's from the Things You Should Know thread, which is a pretty big one that people follow, and people just post different things that they think people should know. So this one was YSK, you should know that a Norwegian psychologist created and released courses intended to treat common psychological disorders using cognitive behavior therapy for free. So I went to the website, and you guys, it's pretty amazing. So Magnus Nordmo, a Norwegian psychologist, created courses to treat common psychological disorders, including social anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and just a few others. They aren't typical self-help. They're actually based on cognitive behavior therapy, which I am a big proponent of. But anyway, so it's a great option for those who maybe can't afford therapy or simply don't want to see an actual therapist, which there are a lot of you out there that still are not okay with seeing a therapist. And I would say, please get over it. You're going to be much happier and like it because it's time just for you and a person that's just listening to you, which I think in today's society, we don't get heard a lot. So, which is probably why I have a podcast. Anyway, They're available in both Norwegian and English. So we'll post a link to the website. I kind of showed it to Jessica, and you can read it in English. So the list below contains our self-help programs. They're all free, and you do not have to register for access, guys. You literally can just watch the videos, look at the lists, like all stuff. So there's one for depression. In this program, you will learn about depression and the steps you need to take in order to overcome it. The program consists of a video series, some worksheets, and a free mobile application. All of this is free, you guys. Long-term sleep programs.
I need it.
Social anxiety. Panic attacks, which we've talked about a lot on the show, and it gives you like flow charts and safety behavior. I mean, it's pretty incredible. Like I said, I haven't done a ton of research into this particular psychologist, so if we need to come back and do a corrections corner or let's be mindful, I'm certainly willing to do that. But everybody, we're gonna post it. Check it out. Let's see what we think, y'all. Health anxiety, that's a good one. I think we all have that at some point, which is an extension of the panic attack program, it says. Phobias, if you have a phobia, you have a specific unrealistic fear that's bothering you in your daily life. There are just several of them. So we'll post this website.
That's great.
It gives you actual tools you can use. It's all free, and you don't even have to put in your email address. So there you go, guys.
Love it.
I hope that it can be helpful to somebody. I know I'm going to be checking them out for sure.
No, I really like it, and I like the way it's set up.
Yeah, it's really easy, like just easy. Literally, they're just listed, and you can click on videos, mobile app, and they have mobile app Android and iOS, which means both Jessica and I can use them.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're having some issues, guys, and you can't either afford therapy or just aren't comfortable with that, this might be helpful for you.
Yeah.
And even if you are in therapy, like I have a real therapist and I also have Jessica, and I'm still going to be checking these out. So there you go.
Absolutely. Definitely worth checking out, especially when something has no sweat off your back.
Yeah, right? What do you have to lose? Literally nothing. Time, which I know none of us have enough time, but we all stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning recording podcasts, so we can find the time.
Oh my God. Hey, it's not that way on your clock, but on my phone, it's still only 1 in the morning.
1 in the morning.
Because we just went back in time.
We just fell back, y'all.
Oh my God. So my rave this week is something that I was reminded by because a friend gave me something that I didn't even realize until now.
Herpes.
Is
just kidding. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Linked specifically to this. I can't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Start over. I'm such a jerk.
Okay. A friend of mine recently dressed her kid up as Linus for Halloween.
Oh my God.
And
cute.
So it was so cute. And I was thinking of my Linus blanket that a friend gave me years ago. And I was trying to think, I'm like, it was related to some charity, and I couldn't think of what it was called. So there's this awesome blanket that's like a blue fleece blanket with a satin trim. Looks just like the one that Linus drags around everywhere. And this company gives a portion of the company that makes that blanket with the actual little like Peanuts cartoon and logo on it. They make this specific Linus blanket and give a portion of their proceeds to a company called Project Linus, which is projectlinus.org, which, by the way, is based in your home state.
In Missouri?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
They are from Missouri originally. I mean, that's where like the original chapter began in Belton, Missouri. Do you know where that is?
I don't.
Anyways, there's a chapter in Kansas City as well.
Oh, cool.
But they're all over. But this company's mission is to give new handmade blankets to children in need.
I love it.
And I think a range of needs, from children who are sick to children who maybe don't have things that other kids do. Since 1995, they have delivered over 7 million.
What?
784,000 696 blankets.
Oh my word.
So it's pretty incredible what they do. They have chapters literally all over the place. They not only accept donations for supplies and things like that, like some of the other companies we've featured before, but they're obviously always looking for people who can either quilt, sew, crochet, all this kind of stuff. And I also thought it's really sweet. They specifically insist on it being a handmade blanket. Like, yes, somebody can use a sewing machine because they're still making it by hand, but like they don't want to just get machine made.
Yeah.
Like part of, I guess, what's special is people making.
Yeah, being made with loving hands.
Yeah, and they're all unique, right? Like from these beautiful big crocheted Afghan type blankets to quilts, you know?
That's amazing.
So they're all over the country. We will put up a link to this, and look at how cute little Linus with his blankie. I was thinking about it because when I was driving over here tonight, like, yeah, we're very lucky. It doesn't get terribly cold here in LA, but
no, but back home right now,
comparatively, yeah,
it's freezing.
It's cold, and I was thinking about people who are homeless and how cold they must be, obviously, and thinking about the blankets.
And also, there is nothing better than a homemade blanket. Like,
correct.
When I had Henry, we got like 3 made with loving hands. And
it's amazing.
Forever.
How special.
Oh my gosh. We use them all the time. And they're just, I don't know, there's something soft and lovey about a handmade blanket.
I agree.
It's just incredible.
Yeah. My stepmom also, she, oh God, I know there's a difference between crocheting and knitting. I don't remember which of the two she does. Whatever she does it well. She does that like every time someone has a baby. And I always tell her, I'm like, do you know how special that is to receive a handmade?
I've crocheted a few baby blankets for people. Yeah. And I'm not very good, but I know how to crochet a square.
No, totally. Their blankets provide love, a sense of security, warmth, and comfort to children who are seriously ill, traumatized, or otherwise in need through the gifts of new handmade blankets and Afghans lovingly created by our volunteer blanketeers.
Blanketeers.
That's so cute.
Aww.
And this company does specifically only give them to children. Like, this all goes to kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Is there one in LA?
I'm sure there's a find chapters button, and
that's cool.
Look, I'll click California for it.
Come on.
Look how many come up.
Yeah.
You guys, I think there's probably at least a chapter in every single state. So the closest one to us here in LA, I see Riverside County, I see San Diego, I see Santa Barbara.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
Ventura County, everywhere but LA. What the heck is going on here?
But I guess
Burbank, Glendale, San Fernando, San Gabriel Valleys, and Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's right by us. But also, I guess if you happen to not be near a chapter, if you're donating supplies or making blankets, you can just send them to them.
Absolutely. Well, and it says, prior to making any blankets or contributing other supplies or donations, you are encouraged to contact your local chapter coordinator. They can let you know what blanket types and other items for which they have the greatest need.
Yeah, just like
so that's interesting.
What was the charity we profiled that makes the wigs for little kids?
Oh, the Magic Yarn Project.
Yes, they had the same thing to help you know like what they need, what the standards are, and so that's really, really cool.
It's great. And again, if you ever see them, I know Urban Outfitters used to sell them, but the blanket where you can actually get the Linus blanket, it's a lovely gift for someone. I got it as an adult and I loved it. Yeah, it's a lovely gift. Plus the fact that they're giving a portion of their proceeds back to Project Linus. They're separate from each other, but it's really cool.
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, I love that,
I love
Jessica.
it too.
Jessica.
Dana.
I think that's our show.
I think it is.
Thank God, because it's almost 5 a.m. Henry's going to be up in an hour.
Hilarious. For real.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you guys how you can contact us.
Yes.
Please don't forget, we're always encouraging you to look at our social media and be involved with us. But do not forget, we want your rants and we definitely want your raves.
Yes.
We want to know what your communities are up to. We want to know all the good things happening in your corner of the world. We want to know about your hometown heroes. We don't care that it's just in your area. We want to
Yes.
profile everyone because
Yes.
it's inspirational to all of us. So you can contact us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rants and Raves Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Raves_the. Our website is therantsandravespodcast.com. There's a contact button there, or you can straight up email us at therantsandravespodcast@gmail.com. Yay!
Huzzah.
Huzzah! We're clearly loopy. How could we not be? So I guess each week I like to end with a weekly point to ponder. I either give you a conversation starter, just something to think about, or I profile an animal on Instagram I like.
Oh my God.
The Daily James is pretty fun. They have a lot of crows, and they're pretty darn cool. Anyway, that's not my weekly point to ponder. Here we go, guys. Don't forget, we'll be back next week with the brand new episode. You know what, guys? Let's think about this for a minute. When we were young, we'd sneak out of our house to go to a party. When you get old, you sneak out of parties to go home.
I think somebody wrote this as the first line of my life story.
You're ready to sneak out of my house and go home. We love you guys.
Thanks.
We'll be back next week. Bye.
Hey.